Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to Alchemy Soul, your podcast for inner alignment and living upon your inner truth. My name is Kinga Wanesa. I'm the host and the ghost, or the spirit of this podcast. So nice to have you here. Welcome to episode number 11 of Alchemy Soul. This episode is called Collecting Spiritual Welfare. Why is this topic so important? It is so important in particular because you know that if you want to go far, you go together. That 4 eyes always see more than 2. And if you are a person who also, like me, is following their personal soul path, you know how much growth it takes from you, how much uncertainty comes with it. And I had an experience in particular last week where I want to share something with you. And if you're a person who is not following his or her soul path, but has someone in his or her surroundings, these are some things you might consider to make the life of that person easier, because it is a way you're going through if you do it, if you choose to live like that, if you choose to follow your higher guidance. That is not always easy. It is beautiful, and I'm completely sure that it leads into abundance and that you can also only follow it coming from a healed place, from an abundant place, and yet it comes with many uncertainties, many not knowings, and in the beginning with a lot of questioning. So if you have someone in your surrounding, try to be as supportive as you can. Because going down that path, choosing different than most people in society do, is not something easy. It is a point in life where you might be even losing all of your friends, where you might be choosing a complete new surrounding for yourself because other people don't understand or are not a huge inspiration for you on that path, or cannot give you the resources and the help that you need along the way for acquiring the skills, and so on. And if you are a person who is going down that path, it is also extremely important for you to choose. Are you going to cut yourself off from your surrounding that you already know? Are you really putting in the effort to try to have people around you who are going down the same path? Well, it's obviously not exactly your path, but only to have the company of other people who are trusting, who are brave to go into new chapters of their life, who are in work of greater service. And there are those both sides. Certainly you want support, certainly you don't want to be alone, but on the other hand, I noticed that it is easier to go that path alone rather than have a lot of friends and people in your surrounding who don't display a lifestyle, a schedule that you sometimes need for it. Try to be supportive as much as you can, because going down that path for the person you cannot have a look into might be a completely new thing that he or she has never done before, comes with choices, stepping up into a new version of yourself every single day that you have not ever done before, comes with an uncertainty because you don't know where that path will lead you. And you're taking on hard decisions, you're stepping into a completely new life. For many people, it looks like quitting their jobs, starting new jobs, going into new surroundings. Because yes, the people you spend most of your time with have a huge impact on yourself. And I already talked about that in a prior episode of Alchemy Soul. And if you are in contact with a person, try to be that person who uplifts the person in front of you to achieve their dreams and goals. Because you don't want to be that person who makes that other person down, so that the person around you never accomplishes their goals and maybe someday looks back on their life and regret. and maybe had so many self-doubts whatsoever within him or herself that she, simply because of your word that you said, is not following through anymore, or is questioning herself, or starting to doubt, because it takes a huge amount of trust and confidence to go that way. And if you ever find yourself, on the other hand, to be questioned, to face criticism, whatever it is, because if you choose to follow through with completely your honest heart, doing the things that you love, you might come to a point where you have to say radical opinions, where you have to flow against mainstream. And when you face criticism, try to not take it personally and see whether it is something that you can learn from, or whether that is something that is simply a projection on yourself. For example, if someone says to you that you're selfish for going your own way, ask yourself whether that is true. And I have been confronted with that situation with a family member last week, and I went on a walk for 1 hour just with myself, asking myself and the universe, connecting to source, what this is trying to teach me. Is there something that needs to be taught? Because certainly that statement kind of got to me. And if I look deeper and deeper, and the moment I was completely honest with myself and open to receive the answer, it was because what I'm standing for, what I'm doing, is for me the most important thing in life, and is the thing that I'm most proud of that I accomplished. Because trusting so much, having such a great relationship with life, growing so much beyond your limitations, trusting so much to go completely into the unknown, is something that might scare the shit out of you during some moments, and you don't know where it leads you. And you work very hard to come to a point where you can trust life so much that you simply follow through with what you receive is what you're meant to be doing. And if you ever find yourself questioning yourself or getting criticism, come to a point where you ask yourself and try to connect in silence in nature with source. Is there something I have to learn, or what is this situation trying to tell me, to teach me? And if you don't know the answer, why something bothers you, or why things are complicated, or even if you have several options you're choosing between, always try to go in silence and in nature and go deep to the root of the cause. And it might look like asking yourself why, or is that the true answer, over and over and over and over again, until you come to a point where you know this is the answer. And for me was the answer, this is the most important thing for me that I could be doing. Because I truly believe if every single person on this planet follows their heart, if every single person can tune in to the confidence and the trust and that connection with life, with a higher guidance, you only can be in a beautiful place within yourself, because you have to have so much love, self-worth, and trust within yourself to follow through with such a path. There is no looking at others. There is no trying to make others down, because you are so much in between working on your own growth, on serving, on becoming a new person, that you cannot be in the external world just searching for things you could be worrying about that are related to other people, in terms if it's just not, like your parents are sick or something like that, where it's something severe. But with mundane people in your external world, this is something that doesn't have space in your world then anymore. And with that, I will connect to the things I'm proud of and the things that drained my energy last week. What I'm extremely proud of, as far as I can remember, is really finding a good balance again between stepping up and saying something where I think it's truly important and holding myself back. Because sometimes if you don't speak your truth, sometimes if you don't follow through with what you know is right or something that triggers you, it is like gaslighting. Holding yourself back, holding your truth back, holding your gifts back is something that might cause even more harm, looking at the larger picture, than trying to not see something. And when I talk about collecting spiritual welfare, this topic is so important because on the one hand, when you're accusing other people, on the other hand, if you don't say something because you don't want to accuse other people, this is like a two-sided coin. You might cause harm with it, and you might bring the collective into healing, into a place where everybody benefits, because you bring brighter awareness onto topics that are not yours, but collective ones. And I truly believe that to a certain extent, it is selfish to hold things back. I invite you to take a look inside of yourself, and we're going into a little meditation right here, right now, to see what is something that you were holding back for a little bit longer because you think that's something nobody wants to hear, because you think that is something that might accuse other people if you say it out loud, while it certainly might help the collective and is something bigger than yourself. And if you're holding some things back, it might simply be your ego being afraid of other people looking at you from a bad angle, or you being abandoned by a certain part of society, your friends or family members. While you should be saying some things because you are contributing with that to a greater collective healing and to a bigger picture overall that is bigger, that is more almighty than your single self sitting and listening to this podcast. So for the meditation, I invite you to find a comfortable seat. Straighten up your spine. Feel your feet on the ground, your palms facing towards the sky. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a deep breath out through your mouth, and come more and more towards your inner world. I invite you to come on a walk with me. See the grass, beautiful green meadow underneath your feet, little flowers. The grass is so soft. With every single step, feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And in front of you, you notice that there is a big open space on the meadow where hundreds of people are standing together within a circle. And you might start to feel a little bit tensed because you know those people are expecting something from you. And I make myself to stand in the middle of that circle, and I invite you in to come towards me. One person makes space for you to enter the circle. On your way towards me, you notice that you have an envelope in your hand with something very important that everybody is waiting for you to see. And with every single step you walk towards me, you gain more confidence. You know that it is the right thing to speak something out loud. You make your way next to me and It is like a golden circle around your feet, and a golden ray of light beaming up into the sky, freeing you from shame, freeing you from guilt, freeing you from anger, trauma, and everything that might be holding you back to speak up and share your most important inner truth. And you notice that you are ready to say the most important words that the world needs to know, that only can come out through your mouth for the message to be received by humanity exactly in the way that it is meant to be received. And you can't wait to open the envelope. And you take that letter and read the words out loud. And as soon as you're done reading, you notice that the mood is changing, that the people around you are touched, and it is a silence that transports the importance and the depth of your message. What exactly is the message that comes in the heart of every single person in that circle? Energetically, you receive from all those people why it was so important that you said what you just said. And you see a black circle just right in front of you. And you walk into that circle. That circle is like burnt ashes. And right here, right now, you take off your shoes and you notice that your feet are in the black ash. And right here, right now, you leave everything that you think is unworthy to be said. Fear of rejection, mistrust of your own power you have for humanity and this planet, to truly remind yourself and root yourself in the knowing that your message that comes from your heart is truly important. You notice that you have more power, you gain more confidence, and at the same time softened through saying what you had to say. And I look at you with a smile, and you open your hands, and I place a little symbol in your hands that reminds you of how you want to use your voice on this planet and what power it holds. And happily, we're walking through that meadow, and with every step you take, that message is rooted more and more in your heart. feel lighter and lighter and more confident and gain more trust till you arrive in your heart. And you take a deep breath into your heart center and a deep breath out through your mouth. Another deep breath in and a deep breath out. And you come back into your body and through the here and now. And one big thing I learned last week, and that I take with me not only into this week but into my whole life, is to say things out loud and speak before it becomes really important to speak up. Because I truly believe with the message we hold within our heart, with the things that are most important for us, we truly make a change on this planet. And whenever you choose not to speak up, whenever you choose not to say something, this is like a spiritual welfare you are not giving to this world. While certainly there's still more room for growth, for love, for togetherness, for abundance, for humanitarianism on this planet. And I hope that this episode inspired you to come closer towards your inner truth, towards the most important message that you hold and that you want to share on this planet, that I could encourage you at least a little bit to use your voice more, because the world wants to hear it, the world needs to hear it. And with that being said, I would love to hear in the comments and via direct message, what is the most important message that you want to bring out into this world? What is something that you got to know through this meditation? And I encourage you to find one way for today or tomorrow to bring that message out, whether it is talking about it with your best friend, whether it is saying that message to someone where you truly feel drawn to, this is a situation or a person that I should be talking with about that topic, because it will truly change the life of that person. And you might not notice it, but it might be like a ripple effect, like a butterfly effect, that you say it and it influences the life of that person so much because you started to roll the dice for that person into a new direction in life. So I truly hope you are aware of your own power, of the power of your own voice, of the messages and the feelings that are planted within your heart, because they are there for a reason. And I truly believe that we should start collecting more spiritual welfare and giving it to others by saying the things we know are deeply rooted in our heart, by the messages we receive from the universe, by a higher guidance. Because if you know you're meant to be doing something, to say something, you might contribute so much to the spiritual welfare of this world by being supported by others instead of spoken down, and just be encouraged and supported. This is something where it is not only you, the person, and your message that is being supported, it is the lives of thousands or maybe millions or even just hundreds of people, because their whole life will change by something that you say to them. And I encourage you to change people's lives in a positive direction and make them flourish, make this place a better world, instead of talking someone down and maybe preventing someone from having a huge impact on so many lives, because you were the person that dimmed their light. And yes, I truly also believe that it is every single human being's responsibility to shine their light, to not let their light dim. But changing ourselves is something that by human nature is not always easy. And if you want support with that, follow my Instagram page. I will release within the upcoming weeks guided meditations that I myself use daily to be able to step up with ease and fun and joy into a new version of myself, because I know that change is not always easy. So follow me, send me a DM if you want to know more about it, and I am sending you all the love and trust on your personal soul path. If this podcast episode helped you in some way grow, gain a new perspective in life, help other people, I truly encourage you, and I'm so grateful for a 5-star rating on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Instagram to just be able to receive more of this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening and following through with me. I'm sending you all the love and trust on your personal soul path. If this podcast episode helped you in some way grow, gain a new perspective in life, help other people, I truly encourage you, and I'm so grateful for a 5-star rating on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Instagram to just be able to receive more of this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening and following through with me.